What's going on, people? What's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and welcome to Humanity Unplugged podcast. And we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, giving honor to the Most High, who give us our health and strength, wisdom and knowledge and understanding. This episode is number 44, part 2 to 43, the LA riots. And we'd like to thank everyone for participating on our social media platforms. And we'd like to thank everyone who's not on the front line, but is still showing support. We thank you guys for that. I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to hold you long on this 44 episode, but I want you to know that everything that you may hear and witness with your eyes at times is not what it appears to be. We have to understand that the devil is very busy putting out different pitfalls for you to fall into, to change your narrative and to change what your eyes is seeing in actuality, which means you need to understand that there's going to be times in your life that you may think something is happening one way or see something happening in one way, but it's really not that. It's something else. So we have to key in with all our senses that God give us and wisdom and knowledge to understand what's going on in actuality. So I like to give a shout out to June. This is men's health, actually, not mental. May was mental health. June is men's health. And I want to make sure if I had any errors in my last episode, ISIS, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. I think I am. Anti-ISIS are the government issued program that's out there that's messing with the Mexicans out in LA and minorities, whatever you want to call us. But only one nationality is being attacked right now, and that's all the immigrants or people that doesn't have citizenship in the United States. And ever since Trump was elected, this is what has been going on. So this is day 6, and now things are happening on a rapid pace. And of course, before things get better, it has to get worse. So I don't know if you're aware, guys, but in the last 24 hours, Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, has put a curfew out. And this curfew has been established because 21 to 23 different businesses was vandalized, looted by people that's participating in the riot. And I want to be clear, and hopefully you're getting a strong receiving signal and your senses are there to pay attention, that this is not the first time LA had a riot. On average, if you look at the history, LA has more riots than any other state in the United States. LA has it. But this particular incident that took place has now spread like a virus, like a fungus, like something that's catching momentum, almost not as deadly, but almost more impactful as an unseen thing that took place back in 2020. I don't have to say it. You guys know what it is. So this riot that started in LA has now reached New York City, Dallas, Chicago, Denver, Philadelphia, Seattle, Austin, Washington, San Antonio, Boston, Las Vegas, and Atlanta. And I want you guys to understand that if this keeps up, this momentum keeps up, this virus, because that's what the Republicans is looking at it as, a virus. If this keeps up, this is going to cause them to come up with their own antidote. If you're listening, then you're listening. If you hear me, then you hear me. Please, people, pay attention. Pay attention to what the next 24 to 48 hours is going to come to. Because we have the right president for things to go all the way left. Now, I'm not going to say any more. We're going to get right into this video.
It's day 6 of the riots in Los Angeles. The city resembles a fortress right now. You've got riot cops on the streets, National Guard outside federal buildings, and U.S. Marines on standby. Let's look at the situation on the ground first. Local officials have declared a curfew in some parts of LA, especially in the downtown area. This is where federal buildings are located. This is also where the looting happened. The idea of the curfew is to de-escalate the situation, to protect civilians and businesses. And once it was declared, more cops rushed into downtown LA. They marched through some of the busy areas. They also fired rubber bullets to repel the crowd. But the protesters stood firm. They gathered despite the curfew order.
Right there, guys, I want you to understand that people didn't go away. When the curfew was implemented, people stood out there. Rubber bullets are being pushed out to civilians to have them dispersed, to go home, to go somewhere else, not to stay outside and be part of the ruckus. The Republicans want their streets back because they can't make money. Trucks can't come by to make deliveries, and the world can't move forward when we're stopping money to be made. And in this instance, this is just LA, but now it's spreading. No money, no peace. That's what they should be saying. Right now, they're saying no justice, no peace. As we see here in the video, you can't see it, but because this is a podcast, but it will be up on YouTube, on our channel. People are not moving. They're being arrested left and right. And it's sad, but this is what it is. You know, what can we do?
The result was mass arrests. At least 200 people have been rounded up, and in many places the standoff continues. You've got crowds on one side, riot cops on the other. It's a situation primed to explode any moment. And what about the National Guard and the Marines? Well, their powers are limited. Donald Trump may have deployed these groups in Los Angeles, but they cannot be used for law enforcement.
So as you see, guys, things happen like this all the time, where
great ideas
Trump
can come
is doing
from
what he do.
anywhere. With Wix,
I'm sorry, I gotta let
decide
this
where to
pass.
go. Put your idea
Station on the outskirts of Los Angeles, around 50 kilometers away. The National Guard is outside a couple of federal buildings, but more importantly, they are protecting ICE. Now, ICE, as you would know, stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, EICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Think of it as America's border police. ICE has been raiding and rounding up migrants in Los Angeles. In fact, their raids triggered this mobilization and riot in the first place. So the National Guard is now protecting them. They're shielding ICE officers during their operations. Which brings us to the politics. Donald Trump is standing by his decision. He says the soldiers will stay until there is peace.
There's something wrong with these people. All I want in terms of engagement.
There's something wrong with these people. That's the virus. He's very clear. He's very clear.
I just want to see peace. If there's peace, we get out. If there's even a chance of no peace, we stay there until there's peace. And a lot of people are being arrested. The rioters, or whatever you want to call them, they better know. A lot of people are being arrested. They're going to be in jail for a long time.
On the other side is Gavin Newsom, governor of California. He's also using this opportunity to score political points. Gavin
Listen up,
Newsom
people.
says
This is very
Trump
important to listen to. Very important.
is assaulting democracy.
This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived.
Is Trump politicizing this crisis? Of course he is, but so is Governor Newsom and local officials. They're all doing it. Just think about it. These riots broke out last Friday. The weekend was arguably the worst period. You had shops and businesses looted, police cars burnt, and public property destroyed. Yet when is the curfew imposed? Yesterday, when things had started to cool down. Listen to the LA mayor's excuse.
Let me just say that a curfew has been in consideration for several days, but clearly after the violence that took place last night, 23 businesses looted, and just the extensive, widespread nature of the vandalism, we reached a tipping point and declared a state of emergency and called for the curfew.
That was your LA mayor, Ms. Bass. And as you know, it's late for the curfew. It calmed down. Now you enforce it. Now you put fire, more gasoline to the fuel, to the flames. And this is what you don't need. You don't need that. But it's exactly what the Republicans want.
If last weekend was not a tipping point, I don't know what is. But either way, the danger is not over yet. The riot is spreading to other cities. In New York, protest marches were held in Manhattan. On Tuesday evening, things started to escalate. There were minor clashes with police officers. In Chicago, similar scenes. Major protests followed by minor clashes. The one worrying incident stands out. A car spread through a crowd of protesters yesterday. Take a look.
Now, guys, the car almost hit a few people. One was injured, but the car was not playing. It was getting to wherever it had to go. Female driving.
Well, that could have ended very differently. But fortunately, only one person was hurt. At this point, these protests have gone national. In fact, let me pull up the map for you. New York, Chicago, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Denver, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Seattle, Boston, and Washington, D.C. All these cities have reported anti-ICE protests. Take a look.
So, guys, I'm going to stop there for you to let you understand how serious the movement is. If you're in any of these states, you need to stay safe, stay away from that. You need to ready yourself for the unthinkable. You need to, I'm glad that kids are about to be let out for summer recess. They'll be with their families and not away from home. If you do work from home, that is a great thing. Stay off the streets. If you're in any of these states where they're rioting in any of these boroughs, like any place, downtown, Chicago, Philadelphia, Seattle, Washington, any of these places, please stay clear of the areas that are rioting, because it could overlap into your situation. As a father, you worry about your siblings, you worry about your family members that are in these states, but you need to understand the best thing you can do is give them the awareness that is needed. When you know better, you do better. There's a lot of things that's going on, but right now you see only the riot. You don't see Pakistan sitting down with the U.S. military, because that's what they're doing right now. They're figuring out a way to attack India and crumble India. Pakistan leaders are sitting down with U.S. military. Our resources, our natural resources are being taken from this earth that they use to make all type of manufacturing items that we use on a daily, all type of metals and stuff are being stripped and taken away and being sold to the highest bidder. Things are happening all around us, and we need to be aware and make sure we're here consciously to see it. I don't know, guys, but it's been 6 months of this year already. Do anybody realize how much it's rained? And when I mention a weather machine, people have told me, Jermaine, you shouldn't say that because you're just saying things. And I'm saying to them, my beliefs is my beliefs. If I believe that man can go to space on a rocket ship, and I believe man can dig tunnels and do all type of things and create all type of biological diseases and chemical warfare and a nuclear weapon, why is it so hard to believe? We can have spaceships, submarines, we can have all type of things, TVs, computers, all type of things. Why is it so hard for someone to believe we can manipulate the weather? If giants, dinosaurs, and aliens once lived on our earth before we did, is it hard to believe? Is it hard to understand? Is it so far-fetched to have in your brain that they can make a machine that can manipulate the weather? If we can make a machine that can generate water out of the clear sky, why is it so hard to believe? The news wants you to believe, and media wants you to believe that these things have not yet happened. But I beg to differ. So I want you to, pay attention a little bit more. Ask a question or two more. Read a little bit more. Look a little bit harder. Take a minute throughout your day to put a question mark on things. And maybe you have the vision that you need to keep your family safe in these heroic times. I'm not going to hold you today, guys. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon from Humanity Unplugged podcast. This is our 44th episode. And I want you to know, just because LA is in a riot and the families are suffering and members are missing, people are being arrested left and right, things are on the uproar, God is still in control. We have to take a minute and fall back from all this violence. People, only thing I'm not seeing, and I'm very happy about that, is I don't see a large body count of people dying. You going to jail for what you believe in, I don't think that's a crime. I think if that's what you believe you have to do, get in line. Some people can show what they believe in without doing that. But if you have to go to jail and do that to make you sleep better, by all means, you do that. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. Stay safe, people. Stay safe, America. God bless. Peace.